food shortage reports, and 11 warships, China and Russia together, meeting near the Aleutian Islands off the coast of Alaska. Let's discuss. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We are having another coffee rant today. I am drinking the original Donut Shop coffee, a well-rounded coffee, not too strong, not too light. If you have to hit pause on the video to get your coffee together, or any beverage that you prefer, we're going to be going in deep today, guys. Deep, like deep sea, like Russia and China sending 11 warships to the Aleutian Islands just off the coast of Alaska. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Now, they did something like this last year, but not to this magnitude. And we even had the Senator of Alaska, Dan Sullivan, who quoted unprecedented. Like, this is unusual. Of course it's unusual. You got 11 warships on your doorstep. That's a little unusual, ain't it? I don't feel like this is getting enough traction as it should. So we're going to discuss a little bit of it today. Don't worry. This will tie into some of the food and food shortages and everything else that we're going to go into in this video. Guys, I'll tell you what. Now, you guys know that I like to do some research. This happened a couple days ago. I don't like to be that guy that just throws stuff out here to just have it out here to try to be the first guy to talk about it. I do research. I look, I search, I make sure everything that we're going to talk about on here is 100% true. We don't need any of that fake news on here. Okay? So basically what happened, if you do not know, and it's been all over the news really, but 11 warships in unison of China and Russia were seen off of the coast of Alaska. They had to have known that we would have seen them. I mean, come on. The Aleutian Islands. I hope I'm saying that right. The Aleutian Islands off of Alaska. It was like 40 miles, a little over 40 miles off the island. So, Senator of Alaska basically makes calls and, they said he sounded alerted. Well, sure. You got two major superpowers right outside your doorstep. So, the U.S. responds by sending 4 naval destroyers out there with air support, right? But I mean, they were even saying, and this is true, they're in international waters. They're in international waters, and we can't say too much because we do kind of the same thing, right? We do drills in international waters, so we can't really say anything. But the big thing to get out of this here, in my opinion, is that Russia and China working in unison with each other. Now, take that for what you will, but I feel it's very important, especially since it's so close to home here. I don't like that. I don't care. You say international waters, any of that stuff. I don't like that you're right outside our I feel like that line should get a little further away from the islands than they are. Now, there's international laws and stuff like that, and I understand that. And, people want to be prepared as much as we do. However, I would like to be more prepared than that. And I don't know. There's something I wanted to talk about because I felt it was a little scary. Right? I don't know how you feel about it. But these are reasons why we talk about preparing on the channel here. Whether you like to call it prepping or prepper or stockpile or storing extra food, I look at it as like common sense. When we hear things like this, we knew this a couple years ago when we were seeing massive price increases at the grocery store. We still are. We still are to this day, 3 years later, 2.5 years later. So when we talk about, hey, it might be a good idea to have a couple extra flashlights, might be a good idea to stock up on some extra medicine, over-the-counter medicines, things that you will need in the future anyway. I mean, a lot of these things, like, prices are going to only go up. That's why we really stress this. And I hear events like this, I hear something like this, it gets me thinking even more. Now, we've already had a series of crazy events this week. And to do a quick recap of that, let me remind you, Yellow Truck Company lays off 30,000, fires basically, 30,000 truckers, 30,000 employees, roughly 32,000. A lot of them, dispatchers, freight workers, stuff like that, but truckers as well. We've had Tyson Chicken, which is shutting down 4 plants, which is affecting over 3,000 people in small towns, which means this is going to be devastating for them. And if you want to go back, these videos are very recent. You can go back and just watch, a couple days ago. This has happened in less than a week. In less than a week. I'll tell you what, I don't know how to really respond to a lot of this stuff. Now, yesterday we had Smithfield come out, who's owned by China, by the way, come out, and now they've shut down 35 hog farms. And we were talking about, hopefully finding places for some of these farmers to go who are trying to earn a living as well. This is all over northern Missouri. And if you're unfamiliar with the Tyson plants, that's in Missouri as well, Indiana and Arkansas. It's just so much, guys. So much, and the shortages are coming. We are getting comments. I have been a little reluctant. I don't want to just push the panic button, okay? I'm not one to be like that. I never want to say go out and panic buy or anything like that. We never talk like that on the channel here. It's smart buying. Buy stuff as you go along. Don't go there and just, buy everything you see. This is not a toilet paper run. But I'll tell you what, people are going after rice like it is the toilet paper run. And we said this a couple weeks ago, and look at it now. Go on YouTube and search rice hunting, rice panic buying. And there's just videos and videos and videos of people just getting carts and carts full of rice. Now, there are over 1 billion people on the planet whose diets rely on rice. That is something we did not discuss. That is something I didn't really know up until this point, because I did a little bit of research. No fake news on this channel. But 1 billion people, guys. And honestly, that's probably a low number. Now, that's the entire world, obviously. But that's a lot of people. So you have... Now, that's probably includes India, who has the export ban. Okay, export ban on rice. So the thing is, though, is they want to make sure they're able to feed their people. But look at everything going on. Look at how all this is kind of tying together. India has an export ban on rice. You have these other places like Singapore, Vietnam, all these other places. They're saying, well, their rice, they're not going to be able to produce the amount that we need for all this to sell and stuff. And they'll sell enough, but they want to take care of their people as well. Look at everything going on. Look at the war with Russia and Ukraine and how devastating that is. And I'm not going to go into all the different things about this. That needs to end. That's all I'll say. But you have all these countries that are fearing for this. And do you think word hasn't gotten out that China and Russia just had 11 warships show up in Alaska? You think they don't know about that? If I was a small country and I didn't, we didn't have the kind of things that we have here, and able to, and actually, to be honest with you, I don't know how much stuff is hidden from us. I don't know how much stuff other countries know. Let's be honest, we could think that, well, they don't, they may not know. Well, I have to play like they do. If you play a game of chess, right, and you've never played your opponent before, you have to go in thinking that they're going to know every move that you make or you're going to lose that game. Right? Anybody out here play chess? Let me know down in the comments. I've been playing chess my whole life. I love chess. But I'll tell you what, the hardest opponent to go against in chess is the one that you know nothing about. And that is an honest statement. I'll tell you what, I've played some people I thought, just from the way they acted or who they were, and like they just ran me over in a chess game. Guys, these events are things that we need to pay attention to. We need to make sure we're preparing. And I don't mean panic buy, but it's like we always say on the channel. Always. When you are able to buy some of the sales that we point out every day. We do this every day. If you're new to the channel, we go to the grocery stores every day. We throw in a lot of these news reports on things that are relevant to the channel. But we go to Kroger, Walmart, Meijer, Aldi, everywhere. I mean, we are always in the stores to try and find the best prices for you so that you don't have to search, so you don't have to spend the extra gas, which jumped 30 cents last night, a gallon. It's getting crazy, guys. It really is. I mean, it is like everything is unfolding the way that a lot of people have been talking about on the channel, honestly. And I don't respond to a lot of comments. I can't. There's so many. I respond to as many as I can. Any kind of political comments, I completely stay out of. I do not go over politics on this channel here. Although, I'll tell you what, I mean, it's looking ugly. It really is. And this is why we're kind of getting down to, we need to be prepared for these things. Look at it this way. If you prepare for these things and nothing bad ever happens, awesome. Then it's stuff that you're not going to have to pay for in the future. That's how I look at it. Like, we have a bunch of food stocked away, in case something ever happens, we're able to eat. We lose our power, we're able to eat. We have bad storms, can't get out anywhere. We have the entire universe shut down again. We're ready. We're ready. And I'll tell you what, and I don't want to be like you always hear whispers of something else going on to where things, oh, when's the next shutdown? When's this? When's that? I'm not going to wait till the next shutdown. That ain't going to happen. I'm not going to wait till I can't find a roll of toilet paper and I'm looking for a newspaper. Okay? I mean, that's just how it is. That's how it is. That's how we need to prepare. Now, again, what happened a couple days ago with Russia and China, I think this is just kind of a sign. This is a sign that we need to think broader. We need to make sure that we're able to take care of our family, take care of our friends, take care of our neighbors. Our YouTube family here, we take care of each other every day. Every time you put something that you know is going on in a grocery store, ways that you can save, recipes. We don't get as many recipes on the channel as we used to. When we were starting out the channel, why is that? Because we had to get creative, right? A couple years ago, things were flying off the shelves. Prices were more than we could imagine. We didn't really know how to save for some of the ways the prices were going up then. Now, we're a little more trained in thought. Excuse me. A little more trained in thought of how we have to prepare for these things. Right? Prices are higher than they've ever been. People think they're coming down. They ain't coming down. I don't care if inflation goes to zero. These prices ain't never coming down in the grocery stores. And if they do, I show you what's going on. We are here in the Midwest. We are in Cincinnati, Ohio. And you see our prices. And I understand East and West Coast, they're going to be a lot higher. Some places, touristy areas, are going to be a lot higher. But here we are right in the Midwest where it used to be so dirt cheap. Anybody could live here and live a great life. You can't even buy a house. You can't buy a house here. It's too much money. You can't. It's really difficult. It's really difficult for the average American with an average job to try and lead an average life. I feel like there's no middleman anymore. There's no medium. It's rich or poor. Here I am. Right? Hopefully you're floating here, right? But I mean, as hard as we work, as hard as we put into things, I'm happy, okay? Don't get me wrong. We're happy. We're happy. And we work hard and we save. We get away. We do our vacations. We make sure that we're able to do that. But we work hard for that. We work every day so that we can do those things. But guys, some things are out of our control. These kind of things are out of our control. All we can do is protect ourselves, protect our family, protect our friends, and just live life. Live life. And the thing is as bad as this all sounds, we just need to plug through. We need to plug through. Hopefully, I know I don't say this as much anymore, but hopefully things get better here at some point. I feel like I first started saying that when I started this channel. Like, people were saying it was just going to get worse and get worse and get worse. Well, congratulations, you were correct. It has gotten worse. The only good that has come out of this, I think, is that we're more trained to take in the worst right now. Because it's like, oh, look, cereal went up to $20 a box. Who's going to buy it? I don't see people buying cereal for $7 a box. That's why Kroger has it on sale for $3.50 right now, as they raise the regular price. They want you to get that Cheerios again, so next time you're going to be like, maybe I'll pay $7.50 for it. That last time was pretty good. Don't be fooled, guys. Don't be fooled by any of this. That's what we do on this channel, so that we don't want you to be fooled. Don't be fooled by the trickery in the grocery stores. Don't be fooled by the trickery in life. Right? Just one step at a time. one can of soup at a time, one can of vegetables at a time. Don't panic buy. I'm seeing it all over YouTube right now. I see people panic buying rice like it is just, it is so crazy. So crazy. And I could, I wasn't going to go into a lot of it, but you can look it up as much as you found me on here on YouTube. You can just hit the search bar, panic buying rice, and it is just everywhere. And it's sad. It's really sad, guys. It's hard to watch. I watched a couple videos and it's like, wow, like people just don't, it's like people care so much about a product, like that thing that went on in New York City, right? Did you hear? But that's another event that happened this week. Some big YouTuber or some big media presence. I don't even know the guy's name. That's how far, I'm so busy. I'm so busy to keep up on news and prices and all this other stuff. I can't. All I know is that the guy was trying to sell PlayStations. Or not even sell them. He was giving them away. And then this huge, it wasn't New York. It was Washington. Was it Washington? No, I think it was somewhere in New York. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. It was all over the TV, all over media and everything. But it started this big storm of things, and people were arguing and fighting and all that stuff. And it's like, geez, it's like, what the thing that I didn't like about that, the first thing that struck a nerve is this something, because you always hear about different countries. You hear about Canada trying to control social media. You hear about Europe trying to control social media. There's countries that already do that. Right? I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure China and Russia, they put out what they want and take down what they want. And you always have these other kind of agendas that are always like, that's the one thing I was kind of afraid of is, okay, something like this happens. This guy with a quadrillion subscribers was able to get this kind of gathering here. Is this the start? Is this the start of, oh, well, no, social media is too dangerous. We have to monitor it, right? Like they monitor everything else. Eventually, guys, we're going to have a scanner in our wrist and we're going to have to go in the store like, hi, I'm Dano. I'm Dano, right? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? We don't want that. Look at Amazon. Look at it is Amazon technically, but look at Whole Foods. Whole Foods is doing the hand of the wave. You can scan your palm to pay for your stuff. You can link your bank account with your palm right here. How scary is that? I understand digital coupons and stuff like that. You kind of got a marker for yourself anyway, but stamping your hand where you just wave your hand across a thing, can you think? I can think of probably 200 ways where that could mess up. I just walked past the McDonald's and I got charged $200. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. Guys, this thing with, I know this happened last year where China and Russia was doing something, but this has gotten traction. This has gotten eyes out in the ocean, very close to our borders, still in international waters though, and the U.S. military was very quick to mention that, and it's true, they were in international waters. Doesn't make it any less scary. And we need to pay attention to these things, and this could affect different things, like, does this have anything to do with Smithfield shutting down the hog farmers? Has anybody asked that question? Smithfield is owned by China. Smithfield is run in America, right? A lot of everything is run. It is the biggest pork plants in the world, right? The biggest, can't think of the word, but they run the biggest pork processing in the world is Smithfield, who is now owned by Hong Kong. It's been owned by Hong Kong since 2013. So it's been a while, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, so about 10 years. But with this, is there something with that? Is that just ironic or irrelevant? These are the questions we have to ask. But at the same time, whatever thoughts you have, however you put together things, whether you think it's real, whether you think it's not something to worry about, it doesn't give me any less reason to prepare any less, right? Whether I'm not worried about it or I am worried about it, then, it's good to know with the events going on right now, right? This is 1 week, guys. Oh, wait, yeah, and the train derailment. And the train derailments. $1,700 a year, guys. 55,000 train derailments since 1990. Do the math on that. An average of 1,700 a year. It's gotten progressively worse over the last few years. So it may actually be way more than that, but they don't give that number. And then you try to find a map on it. The map only declares things like years after they figure out what was wrong with it. Like the one in Montana that took 2 years since 2021 for them to realize, oh, it's the track. It's the track. I don't know, guys. Keep up on everything. We will continue to do these little reports here for you to help keep you in the know. And I like talking about them. I do. I like getting this out in the open. We have to get this out in the open. This stuff is important. This stuff is important because it is ultimately going to affect all of us. What somebody does in different countries, ultimately, look how much it's affecting us right now with the rice thing. People were saying in the comments, oh, it ain't going to do nothing. No, we eat this rice. We eat this rice. Yeah, but when you don't have the other rices to get, and then it's not working, around the country and around the world, jack that price up because it's supply and demand. Basmati rice is going to go through the roof. It's going to get expensive, I'm telling you right now. If it doesn't, thank goodness. Right? If they're able to work that out, great. I mean, I hope it doesn't. I hope it goes less in price. I'm always rooting for the better of the evil world. Always rooting for the better. Right? I mean, I think we all are deep down. We don't want to see these things happen. But, people were saying that. Basmati rice, that's the one that most Americans use, I guess. We've been seeing Walmart with the bags of Thai jasmine rice. They're just throwing them everywhere they can. Those yellow bags, I can't remember the brand name. It might be Walmart brand. Great value. I don't know. I was such in shock by a lot of the stuff the last time I went to Walmart, by some of the craziness going on. It was hard to really focus on anything. Let's just talk for a minute on a couple things that I saw at Kroger, okay? And we got some comments on some of these shortages that you guys are seeing in Kroger and some Kroger-owned stores. Kroger pasta. Seems like it's low everywhere around the country. I had a feeling, considering I've been to 3 Krogers, and all 3 of them haven't had those inconvenience stickers, and now I didn't see any pasta, no spaghetti, right? We saw a couple things of vermicelli, 2 boxes of thin spaghetti that were going to be gone in seconds probably. Another Kroger had absolutely none, and then one I did where I didn't take the camera. They didn't have any either. They had elbow macaroni that was taking up 3 shelves, and some rotini, and they did have lasagna noodles, which is very surprising because when they were out of all this stuff a couple years ago, when they weren't getting it in at all, that was the one thing you could never find was lasagna noodles, but they had those, so that's good, I guess. Rice was actually placed in different spots to spread it out to make it look like they had more. I did a video on this a couple days ago. They had, and this was with beans too, dry beans also, which is also skyrocketing in price right now, by the way. Seems like it's coming in from the center. I remember the last time when we started seeing price increases on a lot of different rice, it seems like it was kind of imploding from the middle here. I felt like we were the ones that were getting hit with the high prices, and then it was spreading out. But let's see, we had flour. We saw flour at Kroger where they're mixing things around. We saw things that weren't there. We saw some of the, they were mixing around different, like the gold medal. They had a ton of 10-pound bags of gold medal, which was very unusual. They usually carry more of the smaller bags. Their Kroger flour was spread out kind of all over the place, but they didn't have much. And again, if you want to check this video out, I did this a couple days ago, so it's just a couple videos back. And it's really spread out, and they had lowered a lot of other specialty things that they don't sell as much, and only have the 2 initial rows of some of your more popular flours like King Arthur, Gold Medal, Pillsbury at the bottom still. But guys, these are things that we have to pay attention to. We have got, anything that you see in the stores, any kind of shortages or you know, anything that you see in your store. We do this all the time on the channel. Make sure you leave down in the comments. And back to the recipes. You got a fun recipe that is creative, that is cheap, something cheap to make. Share it with us in the comments. We may bring it up in a future video. Maybe me and Jessica will try it at some point. Who knows? We need to do a cooking video. It's been a while. That's always happy. That's fun to do. But yes, let us know down in the comments anything that you are seeing going on in your stores so that we can keep people that are closer to you in the know. Make sure you abbreviate your city and state. Don't leave any personal information, but leave your city and state so that way people who see that, they say, well, this store has no rice or something. You're saving that person gas by putting that on there, or helping other people for many other reasons, just whether it's any kind of store. Doesn't matter what it is. Anywhere that you shop, anywhere you love to shop, let us know down in the comments. Keep everyone in the know of things. That's how we keep everything together on this channel and make it good for everybody. Guys, thank you so much for watching this. I know it's not a traditional update video of things, but I do think these things are important because we need to pay attention to a lot of these things going on. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Always remember the adventure is out there.